Thank you so much. Whew. My head is swimming.
I know. We put a lot of effort in preparing this presentation.
Yes.
The main reason is we know there are a lot of small vendors who are doing business from their home. We want to make sure they are aware of what is happening in technology world. And if my, our next gen's presentation and my team members presentation helps some of in one person, we'll be really, really happy about it. So
wonderful. Thank you so much. Will you do me a big favor? I see you have your contact information and everyone will get the recording and they'll be able to get that information. Will you just stop sharing screen so you'll be big on the screen? And because during the presentation you've been a little tiny box and now now we'll be able to
all right.
Now we'll be able to see, they'll be able to see you. And so the questions are starting to come in. So I'm glad about that. So let's see. So we have the first question, is it necessary to hire a dedicated individual to manage the online store?
I would say, yes, because the number one thing is you don't have to worry about IT side, maintaining or anything, okay? You just focus on your own products development, products marketing, and, you can focus on that. The IT, they are their specialty. Of course, it will be really, really great if you can afford. The question is, we are not sure about the size of the business, but they studied, that is their specialty. They update their skills like the way for if it's chocolate industry, you guys focus on your own things. So yes, we would recommend that, but again, it is individuals, thing. Yeah.
Okay, so I had some questions in my back pocket, and so it's in line with that question. A lot of our attendees, or some of our attendees may just be at the startup point, and aren't at a point yet where they have that in the budget, where they're maybe selling at farmers markets, or they're just getting going, or they're making chocolate as a hobby and they want to get into business. What would be the one, and so they want to do it themselves, what would be the one thing that you would recommend where they would start? They're not going to be able to do all these wonderful points that you gave. That's going to be, that'll be like building. What's the first block of the building for someone who's just getting started that doesn't necessarily have it in the budget to hire an IT person? What would you say would be the one thing you could tell them to do first that they could do on their own?
Yeah, they can play around, I'm just sharing, but, my developers also can tell more about it. First I will let them know what they need to do is marketing through social media. No cost, no budget. They can do it like a TikTok video. They can do that. When they are manufacturing their things at home, they can take a video, but don't put 3 minutes video. Nobody is going to watch. 30 seconds, 1 minute, TikTok, Pinterest, then Facebook, of course, and all these social media things, if they post it and make it interesting, okay? I am going to do the chocolate in the same way that you told me, but I need to make it interesting to, like a movie, right? Some movies are hits, some movies are not. So no budget, they can do that. That's the number one thing I would recommend. After that, when they grow their business, they can always go with a website. They can sell it, of course, their common e-commerce platform, like a marketplace platform, Amazon, but we know they all work on the commission basis and most of, some cuts and there, but, that's the next thing. Then establishing their own website, then, doing the search engine optimization, making their store to the number one, not number one, at least in first page or second page. That would be really great.
Great, thank you. Okay, we have another question. Prices in the online store have to be the same, higher or lower than prices in the brick and mortar store, in the physical store?
Price is on, and because it's a virtual store, you mean to say?
I think they want to know, should the prices be the same on the website as they are in the brick and mortar store? So someone walks into the store, and that may not be a relative, question. When I come into the brick and mortar store and you have a product and the same product is on the website, do you think the product price should be the same?
Do I think the product should be the same? It should be, so that, it will encourage the user to buy it from the shop. But in reality, even online store, you are not going to get the product same price across the different. Amazon has one price, while everybody is trying to promote from their own thing. The same product, for example, in Instapart, I get it for $79, $69 in other store. Then if I go to what do you call, physical store, it has to be, but it is not. That's the reality.
Okay, very good. Okay, I have another question is, so some of the folks want to know, would you be willing to give feedback on their existing site? Would you be willing to do a brief consultation, or can they get in touch with you?
Of course.
She's shaking her head, yes.
Free yeah, we do free consultations, yes.
Wonderful. So we'll share that contact information. So anyone that wants to take advantage of that will have the information. Oh, Mrs. Balu, come.
Yes. Hey,
Hi.
hi. It was a good presentation.
Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt. What I was thinking is, if the customer doesn't mind showing their website, we can just ask like a couple of tips from Sundari, and then they can have a detailed description from her later. At least for other people, they can see some live example what needs to be done. Do you think it's a good idea, Sundari?
So that depends upon their site details. We take some time, but we can do that. Yeah, you mean to say they give the. I'm not able to hear you very well. Sorry.
I think what she's suggesting is maybe, let me see who asked the question. Vivian, who asked the question. And Mrs. Balu, you correct me if I'm wrong. You're asking maybe Vivian can share the link to her website. We'll do a screen share, and she may not want, I don't know. Vivian, can I invite you to open your mic, and let's see how, let's see. Now all of a sudden I've forgotten how to do that. Let's see, attendees, Vivian. Okay, Vivian, I'm going to allow to talk, and if you would like to come forward and. Hi, welcome.
Hello? Yes. Oh, wow. Okay. I've never done this on this computer.
No problem. So yeah, go ahead, Mrs. Balu.
No, she cannot share her website from her computer. We can share the screen if she wants to, at least like look and feel or something that Sundari can give in 2 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes, it's hard because I have a hardcore developers who did all this, detailed work. I can just, it's hard. I think it's not going to work out like that, Anna. But if you send us the link, give us some time, we will do the analysis. We can do one more presentation, nothing wrong in it. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Or we can send the email to her with
Yeah, of course.
Yes, Sundari has agreed to let everyone have her contact information, and anyone that wants that kind of hands-on analysis of their website, a little consultation. I love the idea, Mrs. Balu, but it sounds like maybe for our purposes, it's in this short time isn't gonna work. But Vivian, since I've invited you to unmute, do you have a question that you would like to ask, or we got the answer to the one question? We'll get you a consultation with NextGen.
I think that's amazing. We're farmers, and so tech is not our high suit. We've been learning, and we're definitely not of the high tech generation. So we've made some advancements in learning how to use Instagram, and we're still learning that and all of those tools. But the website is definitely something people have been asking for. And so all of that sort of feedback would be really beneficial. And we would really appreciate it if you have any feedback in that.
Sure. Of course, we should be able to, look at our website and tell you that, we try our level best to help you out. Okay,
Thank you so much.
definitely.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, let's see. I'm really pleased. We have lots of questions. Okay, let me see. Okay, Peggy would like to know if starting a new site with only a few products, how much should you budget to get it up and running?
So, it's a tough question to ask about, but I don't know about her products and what is her expectation and things like that. We usually gather the requirement, like, if they wanted to integrate with so many things and things like that, even though the product is like a 4 or 5, they want to integrate with this, that, then depends upon that we give the budget. But we work, we can work with anybody if they are interested to get the quote, because the market price is again like buying the things. It's different from one company to other company. So we should be able to give her the quote offline. Yeah.
But Sundari, at least you want to tell them how your pricing is, like not in the hundreds or thousands, something. I know it's not a fixed price, but at least people will know where to start or how much to budget for the basic website developing. That will
Basic.
give them a better idea because in other countries, I don't know, but in US, it tends to be like in thousands of dollars some people spend, but it doesn't have to be. So they are just, I think, looking for some guidance,
So basically, most of our codes starts anywhere from, especially if it is a e-commerce, it is anywhere starts from 2000, but that's a normal thing that, because all we know most big companies, they charge like a 5,000, 10,000. So anywhere like if it is a very, very minimal product, 1,500, 2,000 we start, but that depends on the number of the products, the work that they want. So I would say it starts from 1,500, 2,000, but it may go up to, 10,000 if they have thousands of products. So,
So let me just, I'm gonna,
again, I'm just giving a ballpark figure.
no,
to
sure.
start with. Yeah.
What I'm wondering, and I think maybe the question is not what are you gonna charge, but if Peggy has finally reached a place where she wants to get a website, she wants to do it because she's not at a place where she has that in the budget. I think maybe they want to know how much should they put in the budget for the platform, what is going to be the ballpark startup cost?
Startup cost, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
you are
not hiring you, but if they wanted to know what.
I'm not saying hiring me also, I'm just generating the development.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
No, I understand. I understand.
Yeah, basically every month at least you should be able to spend $100. I'm plain $100 if you have a very few products to put it in the market. For example, I'm saying Shopify because it's easy to say Shopify. Their monthly plan starts from $29.99. It goes $79.99 based on number of products. Then again, you may need to integrate your product with other apps, other integration tools, like, for example, social media integration, Google reviews, then email server, everything. If you, I would say $100, maybe I would say 150, just to be on the safer side. But if she allocates a budget for $150 for the thing, she should be able to start a site plus developer cost. Okay.
Great. Thank you.
Again, please don't take it like in a black and white or anything. I'm just throwing numbers. Okay?
Absolutely. No, that makes sense.
It depends on, we have clients with 1,000 products. We have clients with 500. Even we have clients with 10 products. Okay. So.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Let's see, I'm looking for some more questions. Yes, if you would like to ask your question live, it's easier than typing. there is a raise hand feature at the bottom of the chat screen. If you sort of hover your cursor down near the bottom of your screen, it will pop up and there's a raise hand feature. And you can use that to indicate to us that you'd like to come on live and ask your question. Sometimes it's easier to say what you're thinking than it is to write what you're thinking. All right, well, folks are thinking of their questions. I have a lot of questions out. Oh, somebody raised their hand. Okay, great. Let's see who that is. Okay, Mike, I'm gonna allow you to talk, invite you to unmute your, I hate saying allow you to talk, but that's what it says. It says click the button to allow to talk. So I'm inviting you to talk. Mike, you're unmuted, so please come on in.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. I have a small side job where I'm working on making some chocolates here in Illinois, bean to bar stuff. Now I have some very talented daughters who are, you know, great designers and stuff like that, and they're more into the tech stuff than I am. So I tasked one of them to, you know, see what it would take to establish an online presence. And they were doing some research on some of the companies, and my oldest daughter, she came back to me, said, well, you have to establish a domain name, like, you know, mikeschocolate.com, and then you take that to a platform like where they'll develop that for you. So my question is do any of these companies basically offer the domain name with it, or do you have to establish the domain name and then have the website developed as well?
Teresa, can I go ahead and answer? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks, Mike. You know, it's a great question, and you know, first of all the best to your what do you call the shop or whatever you are trying to establish. You know, when you are establishing a site, yes, you need to come up with a domain name. Okay, Mike's Chocolate or whatever you are coming up with. The domain name, you don't have nowadays, you know, depends upon the provider, the web hosting provider that you are going to go with. Some provider, they give you 1 year free. If you buy a web hosting, what is the web hosting means? You are putting your code there. Once you develop a site, if you are putting your code in the web, you know, the server, that is called web hosting. So the web hosting comes with domain name. So free domain name, they will be, you know, if you go to a Just Host, I'm just telling you some web hosting provider, Yahoo, Yahoo recently, Verizon bought Yahoo. So Verizon, Bluehost. Bluehost is one of the very good web hosting provider. They give you web hosting and domain together. Then for annually 1 year, the web what do you call the domain name costs $15 only. Okay, $15 for the domain name. Web hosting in an average it will cost $150. And so you are talking about $10 to $15 per month. You can get a domain name, web hosting, as well as the secured socket certificate. You know, I remember I was telling you HTTPS versus HTTP. So you can get average like 15, I would say maybe maximum $20 per month. If you spend it, you are all set on server side. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, that's very good. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, let's see. Okay, we have another question. Can you please explain best practice to tackle invalid or fake clicks in Google Ads?
I'm sorry. Okay, sorry, I didn't listen. Okay, tell me.
Sure, no problem. Could you please explain best practice to tackle invalid or fake clicks in Google Ads?
Okay, you know, most of our customers, they ask the same question, but 90% of the time, we guarantee that we tell our customers, because whenever we do the website development, maintenance, Google Ads, we do everything together for the customer. We tell them that 90% of the time, Google takes care of that. Okay, the invalid clicks, if you have a competitor, if they want to make sure, all your budget is getting burned, Google's identify the IP address, it will credit the money back to you. Okay, they know that, there are people around, everywhere who wants to spoil somebody else's business. Instead of helping them, that's their duty. But Google does it automatically.
Let's see, did that answer the question? I think so, but I just want to double check. So I jotted down a few questions. For someone who's just starting out, what web hosting platform or provider would you recommend that would be easy for them to navigate? Because I know a lot of our customers, they're the chocolate maker, they're the one runs the cash register, they're the ones makes the social media posts, they're the one that does all, they just from moment to moment switch hat. So if they're putting on their I want to have a website hat, what would be the easiest one for them to choose?
I shouldn't recommend an individual provider as per thing, but I'm just recommending Bluehost is the very good web hosting provider. I also would recommend Verizon. Verizon recently bought Yahoo's. It's not for, I would recommend it for the small businesses. The reason I'm recommending Verizon, remember one person, Mike, he was asking me, because Verizon provides email accounts, plus web hosting, plus domain, plus SSL certificate, everything together. Okay. For the domain, they'll be charging like $20 per year after first year. It's like, nothing, like $2.50. But the Verizon is the great platform. But, we had little bit difficulties before for some of the customers when it goes with a big database, like, maintaining like 100,000 data. We had a little bit hard time. But for the starting people, that's fine. Because of the budget, I'm recommending nothing much. Okay. So Bluehost, Verizon, one-on-one Ionos. One-on-one Ionos, it's also another one I'm recommending. So there are so many. Just to host, Alligator, they come up with all the names, interesting names. You will be saying, Alligator, why it's coming? But to attract the people, yeah.
Yes, great, thank you for that. Okay, so I have another question. How do I know what, or how do I pick keywords that are going to drive the search engine optimization when I'm writing content? How do I know what are good keywords?
That's the reason I know in my PowerPoint presentation I put a link, but the trick is, there are licensed software that we use to pick up the keywords, okay, which is we pay a lot of money for that. But Google, okay, again, Google, if someone is ready to do the Google ads with them, the pay-per-click, okay, you establish an account. Once you establish an account, you started promoting, because nowadays Google ad gives like a $300 free. If you spend $150, you get all the type of promotions. So if you, once you, create an account, once you start advertising for $5 or $10, they are giving the tool for free. I'm just giving all the, tricks that will help the small vendors. Okay, big companies, they can always afford. The small vendors with a minimum budget, they can do that. So keyword tool, search for keyword tool. There are so many things available. Okay. Keyword tool for my business or something like that, you search. Yeah.
Okay, so there are resources to help me determine what are the keywords I wouldn't be coming up with that on my own
No,
based
you
on
don't
what my
have to.
product.
It's like a reinventing wheel nowadays. Yeah, it is there for you. If you have a unique business, of course, you can include keywords on your own. There is no question about it. Like, attractive, like, chocolate means bean to bar, which is new to me, but you may be knowing that, okay? You can use that. But if you want help, I'm talking about, you were asking about help. There are tools available, paid tools with no payment, it's available. You just need to Google it. But again, it's like with all your existing work, you need to spend time to do that. Getting the thing, then writing the description, writing the meta tag, include everything takes time, your time, and you may not be able to promote your product. That your goal is to promote chocolate product, your goal is to promote some farm or something, then you may lose. If you are trying to multitask, you may not be able to focus on everything. That's my thing. So
Yes. Now, for those folks that might not know, can you tell us what is the keyword? What does it do? I think I know. But can you tell us? Let's say the keyword is bean to bar, like you said. Why is that important?
It's that important is, remember I was talking about the Google bot, Yahoo bot, Bing bot. There are so many bots. Their job is to look in the internet world to find the best site for the customer, okay? If someone in the Google browser, if someone types bean to bar, okay, then immediately Google knows how to locate your site because you have the bean to bar word in your site, okay? I can put chocolate 10 times, 100 times. If I don't have a bean to bar, Google doesn't know that your business is related to bean to bar. So for Google to identify your site as the best site, that's the keyword we are talking about.
Okay. So the content, you want to have those words that people are going to be searching look for you specifically.
Yes.
So, excellent.
I'm just saying Google because that's a one bot that we use a lot.
Sure.
We have so many other bots too. Yeah.
Right. People know. I mean, it's become like searching is synonymous with Google, right? You just say, I'm going to Google it, whether your computer's set for Bing or it's set for whatever. You're still in your mind, you're still Googling it because that's just how we talk.
Eventually, even though eventually Google will figure out the basics about your business after 6 months or something. But having a keyword is going to help them out quickly that you are into that business, okay? Because we say indexing, we do indexing. I don't want to talk about a lot of technical words because it's going to confuse people. Being a technical people, we know what we are doing. The indexing means it's going to index almost every day, every site. So, eventually, okay, chocolate is nothing but bean to bar. It can recognize, like using artificial intelligence, it can bring your site. But it's a quick way of, giving, if you give more things to Google, it will rank you better. That's the thing. That's the reason we use keywords, okay? I hope I answered. Yeah.
Yes, very good. Excellent.
All right.
Since there aren't any questions, I'm going to maybe keep, let's see, are there any questions? Can you put up your contact info one more time? Yeah, you want to share that screen? Yes, I think with time zone, sometimes, we want everybody to stay to the end, but I think sometimes with the time zone, the time difference, people, so they want to be able to see that.
Yeah.
Something I learned recently, and you did touch on it, and I just wanted to throw it out there. So you find the keyword, right, that's related to your business. But you mentioned it, you want to go back to the site and make a tiny tweak every once in a while that kind of like lets Google know I'm still here. What kind of tweak would you want to do? Just change the words a little tiny bit, or what? what do you need to do once every, you said every 2 weeks, or, you know, every once in a while you need to go there and so that Google remembers you?
You need to make sure you are updating the customer about your company's progress. Okay, that's the thing. Not like changing an image or changing. Yes, of course, it's telling Google that, okay, you are changing site quite often. But at the same time, you are trying to engage the customer. What if you are showing the same screen, same homepage forever? People may not be interested. Okay, so also same type of information. Okay, you gave the information last week. You all, you know, I want something new to learn about it, right? So,
Aha.
yeah.
I'm glad I asked for that. That's,
Okay.
yeah. So it means like changing some of your information on the homepage.
Not
give-
homepage. It doesn't
Oh,
have to be homepage.
Anywhere.
Anywhere. Yeah.
Oh,
It doesn't have to be homepage. As for Google, your site is the whole thing. You can put the keywords anywhere, you know, because people know how to navigate. They can go there. Yeah.
that's, I guess, what makes blogs a good tool. If you're going to do a blog
Yeah, of course, blog is the tool. Then, you know, the webinar, that thing you guys are doing, it's going to make the audience think that you are, you know, you are posting a webinar. Someone is coming there, someone is going to read. So someone is staying in your site for 2 to 5 minutes. Then Google thinks, okay, something is there. That's the reason. They are user engagement. That's the thing, right? So doesn't have to be a homepage for sure. I also, you know, this is my company number. Okay. So, but, you know, for the consultation, they get different because we not just to do the e-commerce, we do other type of business. I'm going to share one number in the chat, which is dedicated for all this website and the e-commerce consultation. Okay. So that I'm going to share if you don't mind. Okay.
Oh, I'm excited. A hand went up.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm going to give Robert, I'm going to give her 30 seconds so she can focus on your question. Let her put the information in the chat, and then
It's 678-430-9766. 678-430-9766. This line is just a dedicated line for people who wanted to get like a free consultation in the website, and also that, you know, that, you know, sometimes I pick up this phone, you can talk to me, or sometimes somebody else will be talking, but you know, always, you know, I should be able to help you out or answer your questions.
thank you. Thank you so much for your generosity in
Oh,
that
no
way.
problem.
I know it will help a lot of people. Okay, Robert, I'm going to click the allow to talk button and invite you to ask your question. Sundari, now that you've shared that number, you want to take the screen back down so we can,
Oh, yes.
so we're
right.
not tiny
Okay.
little boxes?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Okay, Robert. Are you able to unmute, Robert? Oh, there you go. All right, sir. You're on.
Oh, yes. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I thank you for your talk, for your exposition today. As a small business owner, we know that we have a lot of expenses, a lot of situation that we go through. So, what would be the reason, the basic reason for me to go and do all that you telling us to do as a small business?
What's the business? What's the reason? I know you. Let me repeat your question. Make sure I understand it. So you are asking that I'm running a small business. I have a lot of expenses. In addition to that, why I need to do these things that I'm talking about here. But, you know, again, you are a small business. I want to hear when I talk to you after a year or two, I want to hear it from, you know, my business has grown. I'm making a lot of profit, you know. So for that, you need to do some investment, which will pay you down the road. So that's my high level answer. But if you want more detailed answer, Teresa, you can help me out.
I think, and I'm not an expert in any of this, except that I know those efforts are to make you money. I think that's the thing. Drive customer engagement, make people want to buy your product, make it easy for them to find you. That's another reason. I think that's all those little nuances and those little things where that I get like overwhelmed with all those things. Those are the little tricks and tips that will help people find you. So you've invested your time and your effort in building a website, but nobody's finding it. That's what all those extra little things she was talking about are designed to do. So make your money is the number one thing. And then the underlying things I think are drive people to make it so people can find you. Because they can't buy from you if they can't find you.
So, yeah, thanks, Teresa. I'm going to add a couple of more points for Robert. Robert, remember in my third slide or fourth slide, I was explaining why you need to have an online store. It's a 24/7 shop you can open, okay? And the another thing is the recent trend is becoming online. People are not, always people go to online 9 o'clock in the night, you can see everybody is looking who is putting sale, what can I buy, where can I buy. So it gives time for the customer to sit, relax, and do the shopping from their home. Okay. So keeping everything in online is very, very important one. The another important point you have to remember is the pandemic times. We couldn't able to go to shops. Okay. If we had established an online that time, you might have be able to sell things during that time also. So 24/7 shop, the online trend, recent technology, the younger generation, even nowadays, people buy food from online. There are one brand, they sell, what do you call, the vegetable and the mixer, what the spices to add, like so fresh or something. All the college kids, they just buy packs and packs of that food and they cook and they eat. They don't want to even buy things. So online is the trend and 24/7, and people don't want to come to stores. So that's it. But there is a prediction. I'm just saying, I don't know how far. I'm sure in next couple of years, this trend is going to become a little change, and you can expect more people to come to shop. That's the prediction in e-commerce industry. People are thinking, yeah.
Mm. All right. Thank you. But I was like, I was thinking from a small business venture, artisan, the craft artisan industry, very complicated, very competitive. We have a lot of big corporation as like Hershey, like Link, like so they do a very bad job to to sync the small business. But I understand your point of view because the pandemic put us in such a strain and such a situation where we have to compete at times with the biggest, the huge corporation. So I'm making chocolate, like the artisan, I'm doing it at home, but I wish that all you told us, I'm going to try, like to apply them progressively, gradually. But I don't have my problem to sell or to increase sales is at the same time to increase my production. It depends, it not depends on whatever you telling me online or whatever. It's more likely to be a marketing situation. It's more likely to be getting contract with the government. It's more likely to get contract with like some stores, some specialized store that selling dark chocolate, like, an organic thing. This is the organic, that's why, sometimes I ask this type of question because you putting me like in like a big company, like a a big corporation or whatever, you think that this industry is, because I know a lot of guys or persons, a lot of even the people that following this webinar today, they might have some interrogations, some questions, and about how to increase sale. So this is a tool that will allow me, as I'm growing, to increase my my to increase sales, and therefore increasing revenues. But at the same time, if I put some strategies and I got to participate in show and expositions and things of that nature, I could equally increase sales too, because the industry, I'm telling you, the pandemic that you're talking about put us in a very dire situation where we got to go out there. We got to go to the client. If you want to increase sales, sometimes it's not only about online, and like, you have to get some kind of exposure, some kind of experiences to go slowly, gradually with those steps, like, from, like, fabricating, making things happen in a homemade basis situation, and then gradually move, or how you mentioned, to navigate or to transition to another level. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, Robert. That's a great point, and I think that goes back to what, for me, goes back to what Sundari said in the very beginning when she was talking about something that she learned to turn an obstacle into an opportunity was strategy, and I think Robert hit on that. And for the small, depending on where you are on your journey, these things may not be where you're ready to be. It may be that you're still wanting to sell, because Robert is right. If you increase sales, you have to have a plan to be able to increase production. So I think that it's about knowing where you're at, and it may not be that you're ready for this, but the presentation gave us all the tips and all the places and things to look for when we are ready to scale up. Not necessarily, well, so together, scaling up means scaling up production and scaling up sales, because if sales increase, you got to be able to meet the demand. So if you're not in a place where that is possible, it may not be time to have the e-commerce platform until you have the plan. Like Sundari said, having a plan in place, having a strategy. It's a complex and wonderful position to be in any point of the journey, whether you're at the very beginning or you're ready to get your online e-commerce store. And it is 12 o'clock.
Yeah, we can wrap up, I think.
Time went by very fast.
I know.
It seemed like we just got here, but
I understand. I understand.
yes.
Yeah, we can wrap up now. I just wanted to thank Coco Town, Ms. Sandal Balu, Teresa, of course, you, all the team members, Coco Town team members, for giving this great opportunity to us. So we hope, as I have been telling you, if one vendor get benefit out of this webinar, we'll be very happy. We wish everyone the very best, and so I wanted to wrap up. So go ahead, please.
Well, I can tell you that I got some stuff. I made some notes, some things to remember
Right.
as we do our marketing, as we work on our website, as we work on our social media. I have some things that that are gonna help us. So I'm gonna turn it over to Mrs. Balu for the last word. Thank you so much for joining us today, all of our attendees, and Sundari, thank you also for joining us and sharing your expertise. Mrs. Balu.
Anytime.
Yeah, thank you all for your time, and thank you, Sundari. It's a very interesting and very informative webinar. Like Teresa said, we have a lot of work to do. We need to improve our website more. I know we did it, but like so many things come up and we haven't updated it. It's time to go and do some overall on our website too. Thank you and thank everyone for participating because without the audience, this webinar doesn't have any meaning. So I know there's a lot of time difference, a lot of people joining from different time zones. Thank you for your time and Loka Samastha Sukhino Bhavantu.
Thank you all. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye.
Yeah.